I'm attracted to my friend's partner. You will.
Where'd you see that one, child?
This is in the subject. Straight to it. I'm attracted to my friend's partner. A part of me even wants to suggest a threesome. Do I tell Gina I would love to fuck them both or keep it to myself?
Friend.
Friend.
What
do you think?
I don't think it's that deep to have to act upon.
Hello. Hi guys, I'm Nana. Wait, what's
Again.
Hello. Hi guys, and welcome to Two Twos podcast. I'm Nana.
And I'm Bro.
And together we are Two Twos. What's how it goes?
Hello.
I'm Nana. I'm Bro. Okay.
Bro.
Hello. I'm Nana.
And I'm Bro.
And together we are Two Twos.
Got there in the end.
Bloody hell, what was
Only
that?
did it 202 times.
I mean, we've done it probably more than 202 times.
Oh, because you thought this is episode 203. Is that why? That's what it is.
Yep, that is true.
Episode 203,
yeah.
guys.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Nana.
What's happening?
Where does it come from? Where does the
guys, we've forgotten our intro. I just want to say, to the Ghanaian person who sent me the voice notes on Instagram when we missed that 2 weeks. Love ya.
That was hilarious.
Love ya. That was hilarious.
That was so funny. Appreciate y'all.
Those of you who send us our intro to us, please send it to us some more.
Because we've forgotten our intro. Like, that's crazy. But I'm sure it happens to some people. But how are ya?
I'm
what
feeling
episode
good.
is this again?
203.
203.
I am feeling good. We sold out our New York live show.
We're gonna be in New York, guys.
We're gonna be in New York.
Yes, we're gonna be in New York.
Yes. Shout out to everyone who has bought a ticket. Actually, they are gonna release 20 more tickets, but I don't know.
I think they already did, and we sold out. Yeah, because they were like, "Oh, we're gonna release," and then after they came, I don't know.
No. When I messaged you saying we're sold out, they said that day they said they're gonna put 20 more.
Oh, okay.
So that was on Friday.
I thought they already did.
Either way, we sold out, girl.
We sold out. Yeah, we sold out, and it's gonna be amazing. I'm not shocked that we sold out, but it's really nice to know that we have in a different country, in a different city.
Because of our guests.
Yeah.
I mean, Mal and Erica are amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They have their own audiences, and
true.
I just think that it's going to be a powerhouse. I
think it's going to be beautiful. I think it's going to be amazing. Shout out to Mal and Erica for agreeing to be our guests for our first New York live show.
Yes,
we appreciate you guys.
Out to the London, I was going to say London.
Yeah.
The LGBT Centre in New York as well. Like,
yes.
Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much.
Janine and Brittany, we love you.
Yes, we love you both, girls.
Cheerio.
Cheerio.
I'm done, but I'm looking forward to it. We are going to New York in 2 weeks. I'm really excited. We're going for 10 days. So, like, New Yorkers, if you want to meet up, let us know. I think there's been a few people who've been like, oh, like,
we're recording a podcast. Yes, I've put it in our calendar.
Oh, okay. Which podcast is this?
I will let you know after.
Is it a gay one?
Yes, queer one.
Okay, cool.
Another queer podcast followed us. I think that we should message them if we can come on their podcast. They have really good guests.
Okay.
On that podcast. Let's collab, guys.
Let's collab.
Like, hit us up, you know.
If you're a podcaster, if you do content, you live in New York, hit us up. We'd love to collab with you and do some content with you.
Definitely.
Absolutely. But yeah.
How are you?
It's been an interesting week, I think.
It's a God will provide week.
Yes, it's a
God will provide.
God will provide week. It's been an interesting week, but yeah, I think just one of those things, like, it's not always going to be great. It's not always going to be roses. And you kind of just have to, walk through it. You have to get through it and get onto the other side. So,
definitely.
Just powering through, I think. Yeah, powering through. But, yeah, today is Carnival Sunday. And we're not at Carnival.
No, we're not at Carnival.
We're not at Carnival. This is...
I think this is my first year in about maybe 4 years that I haven't been to Carnival.
Yeah. Have we been consecutively
Yeah, even if you haven't been, I've been.
Oh, yeah, there was 1 year I didn't go. I think that was 2 years ago when it rained.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to that. Or maybe 3 years ago, I can't remember.
Yeah, that was quite a while. But maybe that was even more than 3 years.
Maybe.
That was even more than 4 years ago.
Really?
That was quite long. She's been more than 4 years since I've been going every year. I want to say for at least 6 or 7 years I've been going every single year. But yeah, I'm not going this year.
Yeah, well, we're not there.
Just
Well,
tired. Do you know, we've been out a lot.
yeah, do you know what? I didn't. We were saying, yeah, egg. Like, go, like we had a whole itinerary of like summertime enjoyment.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect that I would have crashed this soon.
Yeah, I didn't expect to crash. We've crashed. We
We-
didn't even go to Piano People in
Yeah.
the park.
Mhm.
We didn't even go to All Points East.
No,
Like, we've crashed.
We've crashed. We've absolutely crashed. I'm actually exhausted. I mean, I'm exhausted. I can't believe I'm saying this because in the beginning of summer, I was really excited. I was like, yeah, let's be going. We went and it's enough. That's
I'm coming to the studio. I've seen lots of people on their way to
Carnival, yeah.
and you got their flags and everything, and it's lovely. But we're going to the gym after the studio.
Yeah, we are going to the gym after the studio. And like, look, Carnival is great, yeah. But I just think for me, but the reason why I didn't want to go this year, is because Carnival is an interesting culture here. Like, obviously, it started like for a certain reason. It was protests. It was in response to like, racism in London, in the 60s or 50s, and it's moved along since then. Obviously, like the London or the UK has gotten a bit better in terms of racism, so it's moved along a bit, and it's like entertainment is enjoyment and stuff like that. But I just
But even
think,
go beyond. Carnival is a Caribbean, it's a West Indian.
yes, but
culture.
specifically, it's not the same as a Caribbean one, and I think
No.
everybody needs to like. Even when it started, it wasn't. It's British. It's different. It's in London. It's very different to a Caribbean carnival. And I think everybody needs to like accept that from the beginning, even in the 60s or whenever it started. I think people need to accept that. But I just think in terms of like the culture right now, it's just very much like the men are hungry. The men are extremely thirsty, extremely hungry. They act like they've never seen beautiful women before. They've never seen Nyash before. And I think I just don't like being in that kind of space. I don't like being in that kind of space, especially when I'm with femme presenting women and I have to always be in like protective mode because someone's going to grab them, that like someone who they don't want grabbing them is going to grab them and stuff like that. I find it very long. I find it very tiresome. Also, it's very overcrowded. Yeah. And I'm not interested. But I'd love to go to a Caribbean one, like on the island.
Even, do you know what? I would go to UK, but I need to be on a float. I just need to be on a float. I can't be jump
All
up.
that.
I just need to be on a float. I need to be in my costume, with my t-shirt, something.
Yeah.
I'll do it if I'm with a float. But if I'm on gem pop on the side of the pavement,
yeah,
I don't want to do it.
It gets very crowded as the point where I remember, like, I don't know what year it was, but I was literally like squashed, and you can actually die from that.
Yeah, people get stamped.
Stamped or squashed up or trampled on. Like,
we're not turning people off from going to
No,
Carnival,
we're
by the
not.
way.
But like these are, but these are real issues, and people can say that we're exaggerating, but we're not. When you get to a certain point in Carnival, it gets very crowded. It gets very, very pushy as well. Like, no. So I would advise, if you are going to Carnival, go on a float. Because you have space, you're taken care of, you've got food, you've got drink, you can go to the toilet. Like, I think that's probably a better experience than just being on the road.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
So, and when I said I wasn't going, like, a few people was like, oh, no, yeah, I'll see you there. You'll be there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No one's even asked me. I think they just
Is
assume
it?
that I'm going. A lot of people ask me what I'm up to this bank holiday weekend, and I have no
nothing.
plans.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
shocked.
they're like, oh, I feel like everybody was waiting for bank holiday weekend to hang out with us.
Yeah.
So, we haven't seen you much this summer. Like, let's hang out. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're not outside this.
No,
bank holiday
we're not.
weekend.
And I went out yesterday for like a drink with my friend, and she was like, "Oh, like, what are you doing this weekend? Like, are you going out tonight?" And I was like, "No, I'm actually not." She's like, "Oh, like, really?" I'm shocked. Like, she was proper shocked, and I was just like, "No, I'm actually not going. I have no desire to be in the club drinking tequila. I have no desire. I feel like I'm even tired of tequila. I feel like I might give it up.
Tequila because everything else. It's either that or give up alcohol.
I'm
going to give up alcohol though.
I'm giving up two things. I won't mention that one, but I'm giving up two things.
Yeah. So am I.
I'm giving up two things. Yeah, I'm ready for the tide to change. I think. I don't know exactly what that looks like, but I'm gonna be 33 in 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is. And I'm ready for the tide to change.
I'm definitely ready for the tide to change.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm ready to go inside. Like, I'm just over it. I'm ready to go on vacations and holidays with babes.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you see your first vacation look like? Where
What
do you
does
think
my
it would
first
be?
vacation look? I
Not
have
your
no
first,
idea.
not your first ever, obviously,
with this
yeah, with
person.
this person.
I have no idea.
But where would you want to go?
But this is the thing. She wants to go to Zanzibar. But you know what?
Do you know what?
With the gays.
I think you need to do more research. I think sometimes we feel like, and I'm not even trying to downplay this because it's your life, and some places are actually dangerous. But I think sometimes we think places are more dangerous than they are.
Yeah, do you know what? I have done research. Yeah, I've been on that TikTok. Everything. There's nothing.
There's nothing there. What do you mean?
Like, on TikTok, there's nothing apart from white people, and it's a different experience for white people. I don't even want to. And all for gay men.
Yeah.
A lot of the stories out there, a lot of advice is especially towards gay men, and there isn't much towards lesbians.
Do you think that maybe when the lesbians go there, they are assumed to be straight, and that's why there's nothing to report back?
It could be they seem to be straight, to be friends,
yeah,
to be sisters,
friends, yeah. Because a lot of the time, yeah, African men don't see masculine presenting; they just see women.
They do just see women, and they just see. They think, are you sisters?
Yeah.
Every day, are you sisters?
Yeah. Or you look alike. You look like twins. Are you sisters? Like, yeah. And they'll still try to, move to you. Yeah. Not that you know that's okay, but like they'll still try to move to him. But my point is like they don't see masculine presenting all the time. So I wonder if that has anything to do with like
It could be, but if I'm going to go on my first ever vacation, I want to be able to be romantic.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be able to. And even aside from the fact that us being queer and being in a queer relationship is also an Islamic country. So even if I was straight, I couldn't really be doing too much PDA outside.
No, you can't.
Things like that. Maybe in the touristy in the resort probably.
Yeah.
But not outside.
Yeah, not outside. And you want to be able to hold your babe's hand.
Especially on the first vacation.
Yeah.
So
let us know if any queers have been to Zanzibar, because we need to know, like, is it okay to go there? What's it like? Like, is it it probably is homophobic, but is it like actively proper?
Because people say it's the worst of the worst.
Really?
People really say that it's the worst homophobic.
But what have the white people said?
A lot of them, they're like, oh no, they never held hands anyway because it's Islamic.
Right.
Yeah, so or they've been like, they'll find in the resorts, but when you leave the resorts, you are brothers outside the resort. But if you're in the resort, and by people who actually live, queer people who live there, it's like, no, it's a death sentence.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it's always different for people.
It's different for tourists, yeah. So,
but obviously, you want to be safe, like when you go on holiday. So Zanzibar looks beautiful, but then I've also heard about other things that happen just to women as well.
Yeah.
Some crazy shit that be happening to women too. So probably maybe not the best place to go for first.
I mean, I wouldn't mind like a cheeky Bali, because I've been Bali on a vacation.
Do not
before.
like Bali. Like
she's like,
yeah. But also, why you've been to Thailand, haven't you?
I've been to Thailand on a vacation.
Oh yeah. You've been to Bali on a vacation as well. Yes. I don't like Bali. I feel
Bali's boring, but she's never been. So, you know, the thing about Bali,
everyone gets sucked in by that fucking swing.
Yeah, if you haven't been to Bali before, you want to go to Bali. You got to just do it for the sake, say you've done it.
I wish I didn't do it. Not that I wish I didn't do it, but like I would have rather gone somewhere else. I'm not gonna lie. Like Bali for me, and it's probably because I went to Thailand before I went to Bali. Because to me, Thailand is miles better than Bali.
Right, yeah. Even I went to Bali before. I went to Bali twice before I went to Thailand. I still knew that Bali was boring. Bali is boring as shit. Do you know what it is? You do everything in 2 days. After the 2 days, there's nothing else really to do.
But you know what?
Apart from eat nasi goreng.
I don't even like nasi goreng. No shade. But like, even so, we went to a place called, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but Canggu, and it's like, because there's a lot of like Australian, New Zealand people, because it's very close. They live there and they've sort of gentrified. They can see you. I'm so done. They sort of gentrified, Bali, some parts of Bali, and I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed those parts. I hate to say it, but I enjoyed those parts. But when we went to like the foresty areas like Ubud, where there was lots of creepy crawlies and creatures, I was just like, this is not a bit of me. Like, it's not a bit of me. But yeah,
imagine I went to Bali before it was gentrified.
Yeah, that's.
I know. I went in 2013 the first time, and I didn't even know what Bali was. We went to Singapore for 2 weeks, and my uncle was like, "Let's go to Bali for the weekend," and that's how I went the first time. And
I wonder what like mainland Indonesia's like. Do
When we
people
went
actually
there,
go there?
my uncle was even asking them like, what's main, like, where do people go for like business,
Yeah.
basically? And they didn't even know what he's talking about. But and the second time I went in 2016, the second time. It wasn't gentrified. That it was Australian people there, but it just wasn't gentrified. Imagine how boring it was then.
No, yeah, it's a bit fun now. Like we got bikes. Like, you know me, when I go on holiday, I love to get a bike. And we rode all the way to, and it was like 45 minutes to. There was a, what's it called, water park. We rode 45 minutes to a water park.
Water park in Bali now.
Yeah, we was on the motorway.
There's a motorway in Bali.
Like there was like, you know, in these countries there's like 5 lanes. Like
yeah, I don't think I even went in. No, did I even get in a car? But no, we had to drive out the second time. Yeah, we did.
No, we got a bike. We were on the roads. We went all the way 45 minutes to this water park, and it was so fun. That was really, really fun. It was a water park. What else did we do? We went to the beach clubs, you know, because she likes beach clubs and stuff. But the time that we went, it was also rainy season.
Yeah.
It was December, so it was really rain. So yeah, that's normal Bali for me. I've done it. I won't do it again.
Yeah.
But I think there's other places in Asia to go to.
There are. I would do like a Vietnam. I think for my first vacation though with this person, it needs to be something like
An island.
Yeah, it needs to be
Either
like
island
pool vibes.
or like a Greece.
Yeah, like a
Kind of
Greece,
like, so if
that
it's
kind
gonna
of
be
vibes.
like, if it's gonna be like in Europe, like a Greece kind of vibe, like
Yeah.
have you been to Croatia?
I've never been to Croatia now.
It's really nice.
They say that these days it's too racist now.
Is it?
Yeah, I saw some TikToks.
Oh,
I don't know what happened where, but these days it's given racism.
they had Fresh Island Festival there.
That's what I heard. That's all the time, chat. Outside of that, then
Well, it probably depends where you go, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
they were saying that about Italy, that Italy's quite racist, but I think it's only
I think
the
it depends on where you
rural.
go.
Yeah, I feel like mostly the rural areas will be like racist, but when I went, I didn't experience any racism.
Same. When I went to Milan,
Yeah,
it's fine.
I went to Sorrento, I went to Positano, I went to Amalfi Coast, and it was all good vibes. But yeah, that's a nice place as well. But you've been to Italy too on a vacation.
I've been to quite a few vacations. It seems. I think
Quite
quite a few.
do you know what? In the last 2 years, you've been on quite a few vacations.
Yeah. That's why I ain't been on hunt this year because I ain't had the babes.
Yeah.
Well, I do have a babes now.
Yeah. I don't see myself going on any vacations anytime soon.
Sigh. But we'll see. Let me know what holiday destinations I should go to for vacation. Yeah, and when I should go on the vacation, what time of the year. I feel like a good time is like around Easter, you know. Really? It says the weather is good everywhere around Easter.
I guess so.
Yeah, it's just about the weather.
I guess so. I feel like, when did I go to New York and the weather was all right. It must have been like before summer, maybe like May or something. April.
Yeah.
And it was a little cold. A little bit. Like, yeah, but it was fine. Yeah.
We're going to get straight into some dilemmas. We've got quite a few today, so we might as well fill up our time with some dilemmas. Let's get into it. Right. First dilemma. Dilemma time! First dilemma. Hi, Nana and Ro. I have binge listened to the Tutus podcast since I discovered it a month ago, and I'm currently on episode 195. Raw! Hold tight, you! Safe to say, it has become my new ADHD hyperfocus. Thank you for all the lessons and laughs. I have loved every second. I appreciate you. Right, here's a dilemma. I have something I would love your advice on. I'm white and I've recently become exclusive with an amazing black Nigerian woman. She's the first one I've dated and things have been going really well. I now understand why everyone says WLW relationships are on another level. I've heard you guys talk about how you haven't dated white people because of not feeling at home with them and feeling like you have to explain your culture. She hasn't mentioned anything about this, but I don't want to not give her the love and comfort she deserves. I was hoping you could offer some advice based on what you would want a white person to do to help you feel comfortable if you were dating. I have fallen hard and fast and I really want to do the best I can for her. Best wishes. Oh, that's cute. I like this dilemma.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, that's
like
cute.
To even like ask the question, to be even thinking about it. I think that's so amazing. I feel like more time when people act like it's not a thing or race doesn't matter, I just think it's bullshit. I think it's bullshit. I think you're not thinking. I think like, I just don't think you care enough if you're not thinking about race, if you're not thinking that it matters, because it fucking matters in this world. It does. And I think it's just bullshit if you think it doesn't. But I think it's so beautiful that you've even asked the question. Like, I think that they should bring it up to their partner. Like, what is there anything that I need to do? Is there anything that you want me to learn? Is there anything that you want me to know about your culture, about your background, about where you're from, what makes you you? I think they should ask their partner that.
Yeah.
I think that's so beautiful, like open communication, and starting that dialogue. And it's so beautiful that the dialogue is being started by, the white person in the relationship.
Definitely. I don't know if you guys have spoken about your differences in race, but definitely have those conversations. Speak about what that looks like for you guys moving in the world. Like, speak about you both have different cultures, like both have different cultures, and how you can both integrate each other. Speak about the families, because a lot of the time, that difference comes in the family structure a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So when the time is right, integrating each other in each other's families, but just approach the conversation with love. I think it's definitely something me and Anna were speaking about the other day, like approaching your babes with love. Do you know what I mean? And just speaking to them like they are your babes, and not your friend. There's me projecting, and yeah. So definitely just have a conversation. And if you see things that are like that you see, I don't know, in social media and whatever, you think it's funny or you informative, send it to her, have a conversation, speak about it, go to Nigerian restaurants, everything.
Show some interest in because here by default we're in England, so we're in the culture a bit anyway. Do you know? Just by
they're from London.
I don't know, but like
say you're from
just by default we're in like this culture because we're born here, we're Black British, so we know a few things.
But all different types of cultures.
We're all different. All different types because we're a melting. They call it melting pot.
This is a melting pot, London. It's a melting pot. It is.
A melting pot. So yeah, no, I think like just showing interest is just really, really important. Like music, food, I think you're on the right track though. Like, I think the fact that you're asking the question like means that you're interested anyway.
Your head is in the right space,
your head is in the right space. I think if I was to be with a non-Black person, that's what I'd want. Like, and the thing is, as much as we say, oh, like, we love the familiarity of being with another Black person, I'm not saying that it's impossible for me to be with a non-Black person. That could absolutely happen. I can catch a vibe, a spark, a connection with a person that's non-Black, and it could be beautiful. But those things would have to exist. Like, they would have to be interested in my culture, in my background, and what makes me me. And even though I said, like, I don't want to have to teach someone something, but if they came with a natural curiosity, it would be easy. That would make it easier than me feeling like I have to teach them something, or they've gone and said something mad ignorant or whatever. Like, yeah.
I feel there's always an element of teaching in relationships
anyway.
Like, there's always going to be an element of teaching. But one thing I will say is you kind of need to accept as well, there are in some areas you're just not going to feel. You're going to have support.
Yeah. But you're not going to fully understand. Yeah.
And I think that comes to terms of not fully understanding, or comes to terms of the fact that you will never know what it's like to be a Black woman is better than trying to understand what it's like for a Black woman, because you're never going to really understand it, because you've never walked through society with this skin before. So just even accepting that you're never gonna know what it's like for her is also fine at the same time as well. But as long as you show an interest and a curiosity, then you're on the right track. I feel that you're definitely on the right track, and like, thanks for sending that dynamic in. That's I like that one.
And we congratulations on finding love. Like, that's so beautiful. Like, she's head over heels, and we love. So yeah, I hope
it's to the wedding.
We want to see
all the cultures to the wedding. I ain't seen I've already seen one invite to the wedding so far.
What's that?
Well, it was a semi-invite. They said they're going to invite us to the wedding. Yeah. Anyway, there's another one. Do you want to read that one?
Yeah. I'm attracted to my friend's partner. You will.
Where did you see that one, child?
This is the subject. I'm attracted to my friend's partner. Hi guys, love the pod and can't wait for your New York show.
Hey, can't wait to meet you. Make sure you come and tell us it was you that sent this dynamic in as well.
Straight to it. I'm attracted to my friend's partner. Backstory: my friend, we'll call her Gina, has been in a relationship for about a year now. Before that, Gina and I slept together after a drunken night, which we agree was a one-time thing, and we've remained good friends since then. Her partner is even aware. Now she's in a new relationship. We're still good friends, and I've even been out with them a couple times, and it's all been fine. My dilemma is I'm attracted to Gina's partner. Not that I would ever do anything behind Gina's back. I just think she's sexy. A part of me even wants to suggest a threesome. Do I tell Gina I would love to fuck them both or keep it to myself? I don't feel like I need to tell Gina about my attraction otherwise. What do you guys think? Also, just to add, we're all in our late 20s. There are no feelings involved on my side. It can very much just be a physical thing that can happen once and I'll be fine with it.
Friend.
What do you think?
I don't think it's that deep to have to act upon.
You don't think the attraction is that deep to act upon? I don't think it is either.
You are acting like this. The way I'm reading it, yeah, and the way you are even open to having a threesome with Gina, even though you guys have agreed that it was a one-time thing, it means you really are really attracted to Gina's babes. And I don't know if Gina's non-monogamous. I don't know what their relationship setup is like. But I think maybe you should let it go.
Yeah, I think maybe you should leave them to it. It just, I don't know, like...
You don't need to insert yourself, babes.
It's given a bit of main character energy. That's what it's given. I didn't want to say that. But it's given a bit of like main character energy, babes, the babes that sent the dilemma. I'm sorry. But like, people are attractive. You're going to see people, attractive people all the time. Like, but I just think that if she like initiates, if either one of them, like, or your friend Gina initiates a threesome or suggests a threesome, then fine.
Yeah, let it come from them. Yeah.
Let it come from Gina. But I think if it's not coming from Gina, I think you should just let go. I'm sure there's babes for you there. There's babes.
Yeah. I'm not being funny, Nana, yeah. If you came to me and said you want to have a threesome with me and my babes, or you told me you found my babes attractive, I'll be thinking, oh, so every single time we're out, you watch my gal.
But I guess everyone's different, innit? We don't do that. Because the thing is, whenever Ro has a babe, they're now my sister. As in, we sisters. And I don't see them in that light at all. And I'll never see them in that light at all. I can think they're beautiful, but that's very separated from like an attraction, like a physical attraction. Absolutely not. But I think that because Gina and her have had sex, that's a bit different to I'd say our relationship.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
It is a bit different. They've had sexual relations. They've been each other's coochie.
I don't think you lot's friendship is 100% platonic. I get it was a one-time thing, and you're friends now. You've moved on.
Yeah, it doesn't seem
but
like
if you're still
is.
having like sexual urges towards what Gina has going on, I don't think the relationship is 100% platonic.
I don't think it is. And is that what... Because I know some people do sleep with their friends, and I'm not judging. Hey, look, do what you want to do in it. Like, enjoy yourself as long as you lot are being safe and responsible, and everyone is happy with where they're at and what they're doing. But I don't believe in sleeping with friends. Like, for me, I'm not having a friend that I'm just having sex with. Like, I'm not I think it blurs the lines. I think it makes things very complicated. Their feelings can develop, all of this stuff, and it's just messy. And
it is always messy. I think it's gonna be messy if you have this threesome.
I don't think you should do it.
Yeah, I don't think you should do it. Yeah.
I don't think you should do it. I think sometimes you need to have a bit of foresight. You need to think about consequences. You need to look at the future. You need to think like, okay, if we do this, what's this gonna be? What is our relationship gonna be like, or what could it be like in 2-3 months' time? Do you know what I mean? And I don't think like people think about that. I think they just think about like the fun and now and just getting that itch scratched. And I don't think that's responsible. And friends are really important. Good friends are hard to. I think good friends are hard to come by, and I feel like you need to like appreciate the friends that you have, and you need them. You need good friends. Yeah. And I wouldn't take the risk personally.
Yeah. Just maybe you shouldn't hang out with Gina and Gina's babes
saying
anymore.
this, but like
they're in their late 20s.
Was I doing that in my late 20s? Oh yeah. Yeah, it's a different time, you know.
Yeah.
There's something that you was doing in your late 20s that you wouldn't do now.
In my late 20s, I wasn't in a relationship in my late 20s. I wasn't. No, in my I wasn't really. I was in my late 20s. I was doing all sorts of bullshit. To be fair, I've been doing all sorts of bullshit until last year. So.
But do you know what I mean? Like, you just get to a point where you're just like, Or maybe some people need to actually go through these things and then come out of it and be like, okay, I'm not never doing that again.
Maybe. But I would say just don't wait for Gina and Gina's babes to come to you first. Before you decide to pursue anything. Don't move to them because it could backfire.
It could definitely backfire.
And if it backfires now, you've got egg on your face.
Gina's babe might be like, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean?
What if Gina's babe doesn't find you attractive?
That's a question. Do you know what I mean? And
don't embarrass yourself. We're on your side, you know.
Not to say that you're not attractive, like, but everybody's ugly to someone, and everyone's attracted to someone. Like, this is what it is.
Maybe they might not just see you that way.
Maybe they might not see you that way. Maybe Gina doesn't see you that way anymore.
Yeah, man, just don't get ugly on your face, mate.
Yeah, I think.
I wonder if you're mass presenting or femme. I'm really curious to know.
If you do come to the show,
let us know, and let us know if you actually did it, because you might just not listen to us.
And that's absolutely fine. Hey, new active followers here. And well, I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place right now. I was a lesbian for 25 years, then I transitioned. I have a 22-year-old daughter and she is poly, recently divorced 2 years as well. She was with her wife for 13 years. It was toxic. So my issue is that now I've literally realized that I'm no longer an accepted member of the same group, even though we have the same waist below parts. I'm still the same sensitive, goofy, super sweet person that gives my all, aka a true cancer. But I've literally been told by lesbians that I'm no longer a member. I mean, I understand in a way, but like, really, I need help, please. This is a very short dilemma. I would have liked more context for this dilemma, I'm not going to lie. I feel like it's hard to answer this.
Yeah. So what I can gather is that you feel like you were a lesbian for 25 years and you transitioned, and you're no longer basically part of the lesbian community anymore.
Yeah.
And even though you have the same below parts, like you're not seen in the same person. And do you know what we have between our legs? It doesn't really determine matter anything.
No.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It does not really. Yeah, it just doesn't really matter. And so that has nothing to do with gender and how you express for gender and whatever the case may be. Like we can't find relatability all the time because of what we got down below. Do you know what I mean? Yep. So not all the time. Some people do, but some people don't. But when it comes to, I find this very interesting because we have an event in London called Lick, right? And whenever I see people who have announced that they're transitioning and they are now identifying as men or they're trans men or whatever the case may be, when I see them, because I don't really see them, well, haven't been to Lick that much recently, or if I do, I'm like in the older people section. So, but if before, I would see trans men at Lick, and it's always trans men who were pre-transitioning, medically transitioning. And I have to be honest, I felt a type of way about that. And the reason why I feel a type of way about that is because this is a women and non-binary space. Yeah. And if you are a man, you are taking space in a place that's not curated for you. And yeah, and that's how I feel. Like when it comes to like gender specific spaces, it should be for the gender. You know what I mean? And I feel like when it comes to trans people, we're very respectful of the fact you've chosen to use these pronouns and whatever the case may be, and do be this person, da-da-da-da. But you also in return need to be mindful of the spaces that you're in now. Do you know what I'm saying? And yeah, so I kind of understand why lesbians are telling this person that you're not welcome to these spaces, but I also understand that you were a lesbian for 25 years. It's a huge part of who you are. Yeah. And it's very difficult just to be like, just to act like that's not still a part of who you are today, just because you've transitioned. So I think it's a bit different for people than people just hang out and lick. Do you know what I mean? But this is a bit more different than that. But I do understand where the lesbians are coming from. And I also understand that for you, this is a huge part of your identity still, even though you've identified that you've transitioned.
It's a hard one, isn't it? Like, I get where this person is coming from. I get that, like, this is part of their identity. And this is somewhere, like, they felt included and safe and stuff. But, like, it's just one of those things. Like, if you decided that you identify as a man, that you are a man, and there's a woman only space, or there's a lesbian, like, you're no longer lesbian anymore.
Well, about that, remember when they all tried to rip my pint on Twitter that time?
Can you still be a lesbian if you're trans man?
According to them, yes.
Oh, okay.
Let me find it. There was an explanation the ones that kept trying to come
So
for
then
me
doesn't that mean that then he should be allowed in those spaces
lesbian
if he's still a
spaces.
lesbian?
But then again, it also depends on the lesbians who've curated that space for themselves. Do you know what I mean? If they feel unsafe now that you're in it, you have to respect that. And because I remember I watched a video where a trans man said he still identifies as being a lesbian, and for me, I didn't understand that. But let me find the tweets. Yeah.
See, this is when it gets like, for me, and as much as we're in this community, we're also always learning.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't always know everything. And I'm not always exposed to a lot of people, like a lot of different people. And I feel like now, like, there's loads of terms, there's loads of terminology, there's loads of pronouns, there's loads of, like, you know, different genders, and I might not be up to date with all of them.
Yeah.
So I'm still learning, but yeah, like, sometimes it is like, oh, something that I have to wrap my head around. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, I said I was watching something on YouTube and someone who identifies as he, him said he was also a lesbian. I didn't know this was a thing, question mark. This person responded, shout out to you, Brianna, said the usage of he, him pronouns doesn't mean they're men. I know some mask of center lesbians like using he, him pronouns because that's what it feels right, but still identify womanhood and loving women.
Okay.
And I feel like, I don't know what you specifically identify as a man, or you just prefer to use he, him pronouns and you have transitioned.
But they haven't, like, physically transitioned. I think they, like, you know, they're probably going by he, him and transition, but not medically.
Maybe this is the explanation. It is.
Maybe.
And
you know what, I get that, because there's like, oh, what do they call it? It's like masculine. They use another word for it, but it's like masculine mask something, and they can still identify as lesbians. But I think, and I can get that. Like, I can wrap my head around that. But then again, like, it's the space. So if we're having spaces that are like women only or lesbian only, like, I don't know, it gets a bit complicated.
Yeah, it does get a little bit. But I feel like this dilemma is it has a lot of layers, and I feel like we need a little bit more context before we can answer it properly. But what I will say is, I understand that he, him, the usage of he, him pronouns ultimately is personal to a person. You know, he, him can mean one thing to you and he, him can mean one thing to me. But if I identify with the way that I see he, him, that's absolutely fine for me to do so. And and it's interesting because even me, sometimes when I go out, depending on how I feel, if somebody calls me she or madam or her, whatever the case may be, like a service provider uses gendered terms to just me, I do feel uncomfortable sometimes.
The other day I was in a meeting and like for my film, and Martha was like, "Okay, bye, ladies." I said, "I'm not a lady." I don't know. In that moment, I just got annoyed.
Little things like that.
Sometimes
it's annoying, and when it's annoying, it doesn't mean I don't identify with womanhood. Do you know what I mean? When I went to record a podcast the other day, and they were like, "What your pronouns?" I said she, they, and then, "Are you okay with being called a woman?" And I was like, yeah, and are you okay being referred to as a mum? And I was just like, yeah, I am okay with that. But sometimes when it comes to pronouns, I don't know what your expectations of me are of those pronouns.
Yeah.
So I prefer sometimes just call me, don't use gender to call me anything. And sometimes it's interesting because sometimes I think I'd be more comfortable if somebody just misgendered me. If someone, on some days, if someone just
I don't even mind being misgendered sometimes.
Sometimes I'm more comfortable being misgendered than I am being called she, her. And that's what I just feel like we need more context, because there's just so many layers to gender and how we want to be referred to, and it's because it's all personal. It's all down to one person. It's all down to an individual. It's not one size fits all. And I think we've seen that with the Olympics and all sorts of things.
Yeah.
But I do think if you're going into spaces where they don't feel safe that you're there,
you have to respect those spaces.
To respect it. And as much, it is really sad actually that it is a space where you once felt safe, when you once felt a sense of belonging, and you now they're kind of telling you can't come here no more.
Maybe there's a community that finds in that, like, you know, in people who are female to male and they still identify as lesbians, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe there's a community there to find.
Also, it's also fun, like just finding new community in general.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? So it seems like you're going through
It's a
a
change. It's a
and it's
transition.
going to affect a lot of areas of your life.
Yeah.
So just take it with a stride, man. Be positive about it. But yeah, I feel like you need to give us more context. We want to talk about this some more, so send us more context.
And I don't know if you're somebody similar who's had a similar experience. Let us know as well, like what that was like for you, and what your experience was like transitioning and not being able to go in certain spaces anymore because you identify as something else now. Like, let us know what that was like for you. Because I can imagine like you'd miss it, like you'd miss being in those spaces, you'd miss like that specific community.
Yeah.
So I completely get that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just tricky things. I don't think as much as we have like we're progressing. I think some things still have to catch up, or do you know what I mean? I don't think we're fully there yet.
There's gonna be things that we don't even know, boy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Another dilemma. Hi, tutus. Hey, girl.
Hey.
Or person. I don't know.
Yeah.
You guys are refreshing to listen to. I feel seen and presented by your podcast. Much love. In the next life, if ever there's one, I'm marrying you, Nana.
Whoa, both of us sister wives. Sister wives.
Okay, my dilemma. How does one end a 4-year relationship? We've been through some times, both good. Not in another. Now I said why they said in another life. Fucking no, you're in a 4-year relationship, girl. You want to marry Nana? Good for you.
And you? What are you talking about?
No, I'm marrying you, Nana. That's what
Oh,
it
I thought you said you and Nana.
No, I'm marrying you, Nana. Okay, my dilemma. How does one end a 4-year-old relationship? We've been through some times, both good and trying. We've helped each other raise our kids we had separately. My reason for ending this is I feel manipulated and controlled. My person is always ready to remind me of the things she's done for me each time I try to pull back. She would manipulate the situation and make it about herself and allow herself the victim status. Everything revolves around her. I've had to remind her that I too have done a lot, but I don't keep track. She doesn't respect our time, should drop out plans and smuggle our time together into other things she's doing. It's exhausting and there's a lot. This and other reasons have me feeling exhausted. I have no fights left in me. I just want out and she's aware because now she love bombs and yet fails anyway. And also that she likes to let her friends and family believe we are just friends. That's not my issue. I don't care to tell people who I'm dating. I hate how she comfortable allows it. She would then mention as a joke to her friends that she now wants to date women. There's plenty. But how do I end something that was once good and salvage the friendship? Help. Sometimes we have to salvage the friendship.
Sometimes let it go.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, babes. Like, it doesn't sound good, does it? It sounds a little toxic as well. The part about like her babe reminding her of the things that she's done, so she pulls her back in. That sounds really toxic.
Yeah.
But it seems like you've realised that this is just not a good space for you to be in. This is not a good relationship for you to be in. And I think that's the first step, is the realising that. Next step is like getting the fuck out.
Yeah. Sometimes getting out of the relationship is really difficult.
Yeah.
I do think you need to dump this pain.
Yeah.
I think that needs to happen.
She is giving me spooky vibes.
Yeah, and she's not necessarily even. Obviously, I don't know where you guys live in around the world, but it doesn't sound like you live in the UK. So I don't know how safe it is for you to be out and telling people you have a girlfriend. But you don't seem too bothered about that anyway. But they are still quite big on dismissing you and who you are to them in their lives. You need to dump this person. If they're manipulative, it's not good. Do you know what? There are elements of your partner that I've had in me before, to be honest. I've definitely been a person who's given. But it doesn't sound like it sounds like you might give the relationship to that. But anyway, I was giving and not really receiving much back. And I have had to remind the person I did this and this. And maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe it doesn't matter how I felt in the moment. I shouldn't have. I've also been a person to maybe make a situation about me when someone's complaining about something to do with them as well. But I've had to grow out of doing these things. Like when people have told me you're doing this, I've listened and just outgrown it. Do you know what I mean? And dropped it. We're not perfect human beings. We're not gonna show up in relationships as perfect people, but we should be willing to grow. And it doesn't sound like this partner is willing to grow. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Whether I've manipulated someone before or whatever the case may be, as soon as I clock that this is someone that I love and I've really done them dirty, or I'm disappointing them or upsetting them, I'm gonna fix up. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't sound like this baby wants to fix up.
Yeah.
So let them go.
Yeah. Like, you know what to do. I think it's so funny because like we get a lot of these times where people have reached the end of their tether in the relationship with their significant others, and you're really just sending it in, but you know what you need to do. You know where you're at mentally, emotionally, and I think like it's always the same case. It's leave when you can. You might not be able to do that now, but I think it's also a process as well. I think ending a relationship is always a process. It's not just an overnight thing. But yeah, you're definitely, in that process of leaving them. And you should, because it doesn't feel like this relationship is serving you. It doesn't feel like this person is serving you. It doesn't feel like this person makes you feel good about yourself. And I feel like that's probably one of the things. Like, I think when you're in a relationship with someone, you should both be trying to make each other feel good. And it even goes down to the little things like you were saying about like the way you speak to the person and the way you even the way you listen to them, like listen and not listen to respond or make excuses or divert the conversation or take the blame off of yourself, deflect, all of that stuff. Like all of that stuff is mad negative, is mad selfish, and you should be looking to make your significant other feel good, feel like a person, feel like they are loved, feel like they are listened to, feel like they are cared for. And it doesn't seem like this person is making you feel like that. And I feel like if that's the case, baby, run.
To go.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go. But thank you for sending your dilemma in. Let us know what you end up doing.
Let us know if you've broken up.
I think it's hard as well because there's kids involved.
Well, they have the kids separately.
Yeah, but it doesn't make it come on. They're like, they raise them together.
Yeah. It is hard. But you can still maintain co-parenting if you like to do that. Anyone who's tried to maintain co-parenting with me hasn't worked. Only one person is still in contact with my child.
It's a hard one, isn't it?
And I love that for them.
I don't know if I could get involved in a child. It's just the way I am right now. I can't get involved in a child's life. No. That isn't my own. Wouldn't do it.
It's a lot. I personally wouldn't recommend. I think I've had 2 people involved in my child's life, and one of them is still involved in her life, and it's fine. She's just great for her. So it's good.
Yeah. It's a different kettle of fish when there's kids involved.
Yeah.
Just be mindful of that as well. To you guys out there.
Be mindful, be cutesy, but be demure.
Yeah.
How's your pussy? Is it still broken?
Is my pussy still broken? That's a good question. Do you know what? My pussy is not still broken. No.
Oh, how did it fix?
Do you know what? I feel like
itself.
How did it fix itself? How did it? I feel like I was taking ashwagandha and maca roots.
Oh, you did the combination?
Yeah, combination.
Okay.
I did that. And yeah, I don't take the maca root all the time. I'll be taking the ashwagandha for ADHD reasons, but it
it made the pussy start swirling again.
Yeah.
Did its wheels start churning?
Started churning.
Perfect.
Things are happening down there. I'm no longer in my asexual era.
Tell us more.
No. Nope. But all I'm gonna say that is great.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Good times. Very good times.
Great. Okay. Thanks for listening, guys. That's the end. We're going to wrap up now. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I don't know what we have to sell you guys this week.
I don't think we have anything to sell.
I don't think we've got anything to sell. But please, if you're coming to our live show, we can't wait to see you. Just look out. There might be more tickets coming out soon. Shout out to Mal. Shout out to Erica. Shout out to the LGBT Centre in New York City.
We might be having a little thing the next day.
Oh,
to be confirmed.
At the bush. We might be having a party at the bush the next day.
To be confirmed.
But TBC.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for rocking with us. Use the hashtag Tutu's Podcast Conversation on Twitter. Rate and review us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Till next week.